Okay, I'm showing you some more images here, and I'm going to read the description box with it. It's unfortunate that I can't get the whole thing on the screen so that you can see it, but I'm about to lower the camera and start from the bottom up. I'm going to show you the entire image, then I'll read the description box, and then I'm going to talk briefly about what we're seeing, at least in my opinion. Notice the two bulls to the left and the right of the fish. Now, just to kind of get your mind thinking about what you just saw in the previous image of the video I uploaded, notice that character that had scales and hair like horns like a bull. And then if you take this image here of the fish and then the bull horns, you can see where that character gets the scales like a fish and the horns like a bull. Now I'm going to go slowly up and then we'll read the description. Notice the owls to the left and to the right. There's one there, sitting on the backs of turtles. There's one there. Now when I read the description, it's going to talk about a deceased woman that you will see in a standing position here. And then when it talks about this bat that is guarding the heavens, so to say, that would be this image. So in other words, we have a lower, a middle, and an upper world. We're coming into the upper. And then there is our telltale moon and sun. Now remember the columns Jachin and Boaz. And then what's important to see here to the left on the moon, we see a frog. And then atop the frog, in my opinion, that is a donkey. Right there. Now, why is it important that we're seeing a frog here? Well, for multiple reasons. If we take this movie here in Blades of Glory, notice this individual here with the blonde hair. I can't remember what his name is. Let's see if we can find it real quick. Jimmy. In other words, Slim Jim. Jimmy McElroy. L is in bull, right? There's the bulls. And then in this movie, Jimmy McElroy is holding a stuffed frog. Okay? Very important. And then this would be why Jimmy, Slim Jim, connected to the slim thing, the moon, the sickle, the banana. There's the frog. Now here's the historical, ancient precedents for such things. And then, in my opinion, this would be the donkey up above. Now, if we were to go to the movie Flushed Away, which of course is all about this destruction that they're planning, this disaster, the whole nine. Well, what do we see is the character, in my opinion, when I did the video on this, I told you that this frog was on the moon. And then there's the frog. Notice he likes to eat flies. Have you ever heard the expression Venus dog fly? And then think about all the people that think they're connected to the sacred feminine within this club that are supposed to be flying to the moon. And then you see this frog here in the movie says he's going to kill everybody. That's what he says. Except for his little green tadpoles. That's who he wants to survive. In other words, that's his version of the stock exchange. My point here is, there's the frog. As we've already did the series that showed you in the connection to the moon, in my opinion, was there. And of course the sinister plot that they have for their own people within this organization. And then if we were to just simply go to this movie here, Jimmy is connected to the moon, as in the Slim Jim. And then, of course, he's holding the stuffed frog. And then now, my friends, you can see the very ancient historical precedents for the frog, which you might better see in this image here. And then as we see the crow over here on the sun, and the real mystery is that their sun god is sealed on the moon. And that's really, what it's all about. And that's why you'll see these two images of the sun be on one side, and then it might flip-flop and be on this side, and then it might flip-flop back to this side. Well, it's just basically revealing that their supposed sun god had been at one time sealed at this moon location. Now, what's important is to think about bats, and then let's think about 69. Let's think about bats hanging upside down. Let's think about Saturn, Oman, Ra, Utu Shemesh, the hidden one, and then let's think about the connection to Osiris, Orion, hanging upside down from Orion. And then let's think about bats hanging upside down. And then let's think about the letter or the number 6. And then if you were to hang a 6 upside down, being Saturn, the 6th planet from the sun, then that 6 would be a 9. Therefore, that is the root for the connection for 69. That's how 69 gets that way. Or in other words, that's how the 6 is hung upside down to turn into a 9. And then the esoteric coding 69 develops. And as I said, the Cancer is in relationship to the leprosy. And then there we see the little leopards underneath this deceased female. Now, take a good look at the image again. As I said, there's much more to talk about than I can do in these videos. This will be a drawing of the image that's a little bit more clear. And I'm going to go from the bottom coming down so that you can see it. And then there's your bulls with the fish that would connect back to the other image that I just showed you. And now I'm going to read it. The famous painted silk banner. Let me go ahead and put this right here for a moment. And this individual here is, so it's a blown up image of what we've seen. The crescent moon is right above this individual here. The famous painted silk banner from Tomb 1, Mawangudu, which illustrates the journey to immortality, remember Gilgamesh, of the wife of Marquis of Dai, was found on her coffin. It portrays the underworld, lower part, the earthly world, middle part, and the celestial world, upper part, using complex and sometimes obscure symbols. I guess it might be obscure to some people, but not us at this point. The dead woman is shown standing in the center, her relations kneeling around her, call on her soul to return to its former abode. At the sides are two great dragons, which act as intermediaries for the ascent to the celestial regions. Above them opens the door to the heavens, guarded by its faithful keeper, the bat. Now let's think about the battle for Middle Earth that we see with the Lord of the Rings, and then let's think about Saturn, the supposed Lord of the Rings, and then let's think about the Shin Ring, and then let's think about the band of Orion, and then of course the wedding band connected to a rapture, and then now let's think about a bird of prey as a raptor, and then things might not be looking so good for people that are connected to this organization that is connected to their supposed amphibious leader, who has a sinister plan of eating and destroying Venus dogflies. I'll be back.